Hi, Guido Fox here. Welcome by a new book report. Today I want to talk with you about this book, After Middle Age, a Limited Sky. So we going skyrocket after your middle age. And you think, okay, middle age, I am not middle age, I'm only 20 years old, or I'm 10 years old, or I am 25 years old, or I'm 30 years old, but after middle age, after middle age means if you're growing up meditative wise, if you're growing up spiritual wise, if you're growing up energetically wise. That's very important to understand. You can grow up more than your parents who are sitting at the bench and drinking coffee and watching all the time television. Your generation, your parents' generation, doesn't do anything more than that. So what I want to say is that you can grow up easier and more than maybe your parents or your grandparents. It is independent on age. After middle age means that you can grow up from a very young age in your energy, in your spiritual calibration levels, in your mental health. It's not that you grow older with the age and that you become more wiser. No, that is not something given by you, that you become older and wiser. You become wiser through meditation and spiritual personal development. You become much more knowledgeable than people who are more years here on earth and doing the same routine and the same routine. You can live much more intenser than other people. So after middle age, then the sky will limitless is the age that you opening up, that you become an awakening person. That is after middle age. That's the grow in your chakras. That's the grow in your Amrita Nadi land. So then you can grow really, and that is grow. That is spiritual grow, and that is mentally grow. Let's go continue to page 14. And this is an interesting topic. Let's talk about sex. And if I talk about sex or I make book reports about sex, then there is some 100% or 200% or 1000% more viewers. So sex seems very interesting in this society. And sex is the start of spiritual awakening. The most people are very interested in sex, and sex is the gate to spiritual awakening. So first you have the sexual phase in your life, and if you're not suppressing anything and you become really good with women or with men, then you have a small gate to heaven already. Every orgasmic feeling is a small gate to heaven, right? And if you feel the little pleasures of the orgasm. That is the gate to the full orgasm of your spiritual awakening and the spiritual chakra activation, ecstaticness. That is your full body orgasm. What Osho was writing down here is that the reproductive process is forced on you by nature. So by nature, we are forced to spread your seeds in a woman because that is forced by nature, and you're victim of that. That is what Osho were writing down here, that reproduction process. And as a woman, I want to have the seed, I want to have the seed of the man is a kind of animalistic way of approaching sexual intimacy. So what he was writing down here, try to slow down a little bit in your sexual movements, not coming in 1 second or 10 seconds or 1 minute. Hold it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Have longer sex with each other. And go astray from nature there and go a little bit more into emotional intimacy instead of the short work. And women become more and more satisfied if you are doing that as a man, if you're holding your seats a little bit more, if you're not coming every time in her, but also do 2 weeks not, have a break in that coming phase. So go a little bit more astray from nature. And for the specialist guys who are really good in sex, I should read my book, The Multi-Orgastic Man. So how to split your coming and your orgasm feelings with a split orgasm, and you can serve your women or the women in your life much more better and much more longer, and you can prolong your erection longer as a man, and you can have a natural Viagra mechanism. That is the whole point with the multi-orgastic man. You have a natural Viagra mechanism. You don't need all those pills and that kind of stuff to hold your orgasm longer, more intenser, and also your erection. So that's what I want to give you as advice as men, to slow a little bit more down, more touching, more intense, and have more lasting, longer sex than only the hard work and the natural approach towards sex. It's very important to understand, because if you want to grow together as a couple, the sex is one of the most important things. Because that is the touchings, that is the energetic change between you and your partner. We always talking in society about talks and dinners and whatever, but that is always the pre-stage towards sex. So your dinner, your movie together is always the pre-phase towards sexual intimacy. So be aware of that, and of course do sometimes the natural thing, the hard work thing, the short intense thing. So variation is there, so also very important in your sexual life. Another thing that is on page 23, and that is if you're going further into enlightenment and into chakra activations, then your face is more glowing, and that is also recognized by a lot of people. Not only my energetic field is different, but also my shiny eyes and also my face glow. So that's all outcomes of the enlightenment process in your development. So if you meditate for years and years and years, your activations in your body will be much more intenser, and you will be more beautiful. Your skin will be more tenseless, and you don't need all those creams and those pills. The best thing you can do for a nice face, ladies, is just go into meditation for hours and hours, and you have a beautiful face, and you have a beautiful, shining, relaxed, tensionless attitude. That's the best way to become more beautiful, women. Nothing to do as important to watch out what you get inside, qua calories, but also going into meditation. You become more happier person and more shining, and you become much more attractive for the guys there. But it is an immense centering. Page 65. You need an immense centering, constantly aware on your inner line, constantly aware on your Amrita Nadi line in your body. That's where Jesus, Osho, and Mahavira and Buddha were talking about the movements in your body, the neck, the mind chakra connect, the activations in your body to become a higher spiritual being, a higher human being who is higher than the average levels of 200 consciousness levels in this earth, in this world. You will go to 700, 800, 900. You're above the rest. You're above the crowd. If you're following me, you'll become as ecstatic happiness you don't know. You will grow out all those social constructs and all those mechanisms and all the distractions, mental distractions in your surroundings. All those mental distractions really sum up in war. I told you earlier, right? All those mental distractions collectively is pushing out in war times. Society is always going too far and too little, always going in extreme violence or extreme peace, always extreme violence, rapings, killings, and then extreme peace where nobody talks about each other's miscomings, always keep silence, what's going on in each other, watching away what's really happening in society. So extreme peace and extreme violence, society is always going in the same historical circle. Unless people become meditative, we never come in worldly peace. Page 33, how your worldly ambitions will disappear. All your strivings for money, fame, hierarchy will change. You'll be happy with what you're doing. I will be happy what I am doing here. I will give you free information because I love to give. I love to give you the wonderful spiritual information to grow as a person and step out of all your mental depressive pills. I think 2 out of 10 are crazy mentally in Amsterdam city town. I think 2 out of 10. If I see the behavioral patterns, how the people are walking, how the people are shouting, how the people are moving, how the people are walking, how the people are eating, how the people are watching in their eyes, I see in 10 seconds that the ego identification with the mind of people. I'm very good in scanning social behavioral patterns, and 2 out of 10 are crazy. People are mentally crazy. You're not, because you're following me, right? All your ambitions disappear. You will be extreme happy with what you're doing. You're very fanatic, that's okay. You're very striving. I put a lot of energy in this video, as you don't know how much I read. I have the feeling that I read as only coach here in the world or in the Netherlands. I don't see any coach who are reading so much proven wise. I read, summarized the books, I giving book reports. Which coaches are doing that? I see only one-liners. They're so empty. They're so empty. All those coaches are so empty. And they attract the empty crowd. The empty people, they're coming to the empty coaches and they stay empty together. No coach is so fulfilled, ecstatic as me, has such a high consciousness levels. So only people with PhD plus level or very intelligent or very sensitive are coming by me. I don't attract the crowd. I'm sorry, that's okay. That's okay. Page 62. The chakra energy is constantly moving. And this is what Buddha was saying. He is jumping from the chakras to the chakras. He's going with his mind to his chakras, to his third eye, to his crown chakra, to his palms, to his 3 hearts on a row. The Buddha wasn't doing nothing more than changing and transforming his energy field through the movements in his chakras, constantly focusing inside and about his awareness. So the Buddha was teaching how to go with your mind to the chakra activations. Of course, you can place your Buddha statue in the garden and do 10 minutes meditation, and you say to everybody, I'm a Buddhist and I'm meditative and I'm a good person, and showing the world how good you are. That's okay. But are you really aware? Can you be aware without a statue? Can you be aware for 2 hours meditation without a break, without standing up from your chair? Let's see. Buddha calls Thusness. Thusness, page 67. Thusness. Buddha talked about Thusness. Thusness is everything accepted what it comes in your life. Take it for granted. Let it come into your life and embrace it with love. Don't go against it. Accept it if you are chosen for it. We are going a lot of times in mental stress, in tiredness, and reflect that on others into hatred. We are tired, we are exhausted, we are stressed, and it turns out in hate and violence towards each other, because it is an inner reflection of our unhealthy mental lifestyle. So be aware of that. First yourself healthy, first self-love, first love for yourself and for your environment and for the people in your country. More self-love, and then you can give. Otherwise your giving will be destructive. So give the world from love and peace. But start with yourself, because if you start with yourself, you can grow as a flower. You can grow as a flower, and your flower can give much more than the smaller flower that you wear. The smaller flower that you wear before meditation cannot give anything. You have to grow. You have to grow as a flower. The inner flower has to grow. And if you cannot grow, your grow is senseless. You stay the same person all your life. The same misery, the same mental misery all your life, in the next life, in your next life, in your next soul life. So you have the chance now to escape with me, to go with me to this path of spiritual awakening, Thank you for watching and see you by the next book report. Hi.